right, so we've got Annie with us today, and she's doing great. We're just going to show you with her some of the ways I get around some of the retrieving problems, some of the common problems that dogs have. So one of them is the dog will sit down and chew on the bumper, or they start running away from you. Now that is caused by you getting onto the dog over something that they picked up, whether it be a sock or something that you didn't want them to pick up. You ran over there, you got onto them, and that's not what we do in this program. You should not get on to a dog ever for them picking up something in their mouth. I don't care if it's a dead snake. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's your wife's favorite slipper. You know, you do not get onto them. Nobody in your family should get onto them. So a lot of this stuff can be caused by having a dog inside with other people, and the other people not being on the same page. Let's say your wife, or maybe it's your husband and you're the trainer. The dog grabs their stuff, they give the dog a little pop or a little, hey, get off that, and it scares the dog, and now the dog starts running away with whatever it's got. Or your kids, start tugging with the dog and playing tug of war with the dog with objects that they're playing with. That can all cause these problems. That's why I manage my dogs and keep them separate from my kids unless I'm directly supervising. My dogs are also directly separate from my wife. Not that she would do anything wrong, it's just that's how it goes for me. I just usually am taking care of the dogs all myself. So what we've got here is the X pen. So it's just an exercise pen that dogs use, little puppies, that you can enclose, lock it up. But what we've got is we've formed a little hallway out of it. Now you can do this inside, but this is a good transition from going from in your hallway inside to going outside into a mowed down dirt path, gravel path, something like this for retrieving. You don't want to start this in tall grass. It needs to be mowed down. It's getting hot, so I'm going to go ahead and toss her a few retrieves in the back and just show you what I mean. So I'm going to use a few different objects like we talked about in our previous 8 weeks to 12 weeks video. I'm going to use a paint roller, going to use a piece of PVC and some balls. So here we go. Annie, come here. Annie, good girl, good girl, good girl. Come on, baby, come on. Oh, and it's so easy. All right, Annie. Annie. Oh my goodness, such a good dog. And she has no choice but to come back to me, so we can build this up into a habit. All right, now I'm gonna switch to a little chuck it ball. I don't like to use these too much because they do squeak, and I don't want the dogs barking into it for them squeak. So I'll use it early on just to get them used to biting into that rubber, but I'm not gonna use it as they get older and get ready to chomp. So here we go. Annie. Oh, good girl. Oh, good girl. Hey, good job. All right, and so now I'm going to grab out a tennis ball if I can find it. There it is. All right. Annie. That's her favorite right now. Good girl. So she's coming straight back to me. All right, now I'm going to grab in here. I have a piece of PVC. If I can find it again. All right, Annie. Annie. And that made a little weird noise at the end. So she's having to check it out. Good girl, good girl. Get it, get it. So now, because it made a weird noise, it's going to distract her a little bit. Oh, good girl, good girl. Annie. Annie. Good girl. Hey, hey. And it doesn't look like she wants to pick this up because of the weird noise. Hey, Annie. So that stuff can happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back to the paint roller. Something she was picking up. Annie, good girl. Good girl. Good. And then I'm going to switch straight back over to this. Annie. And look at that. She picked it right up. Good girl. And that's all I'm going to do. So she was having trouble with this piece of PVC. Picking it up in the back of there because it made a ding on the back of that cage. So that startled her a little bit, made her nervous of it. So what I did is I took the piece of PVC, I took this paint roller, which she was retrieving fine, threw it in the back, had her retrieve one. Then I switched it out. Then she picked up this no problem. So little simple tricks to solve the retrieving problems that may happen. She's got no place to go but back to me in something like this. It's a great useful tool to get your dogs outside and not have to be eyes on them while you're doing something, and they can use the bathroom. Also a great tool for retrieving because you can open it up like this. So keep those in mind. Make sure that you're not overdoing this, and make sure that if your dog is having retrieving problems that you don't go and try to, like a lot of people I see, they say, okay, my dog is having retrieving problems, so I'm going to try to fix it every day, and they end up retrieving way more often than they should. And what happens is they create that problem just more and more, when really they may need to take 2, 3, maybe a whole week off from retrieving and then go back to retrieving in something like this where it's all controlled, and that dog will come out ready to go. But if we keep throwing it every day trying to get the dog right, they just basically, it's like us overcompensating, trying to get the dog to do what we want it to do, but doing it way too much. Ends up hurting the dog in the long run. So remember, space these retrieving sessions out a couple days. So I'm doing this today. I may not do it again till today's Thursday. I may not do it again till Sunday with this dog. You know, we're gonna just walk around the field a little, sniff in the grass, do other stuff. Practice recalls, just explore with this puppy right now. And now she's dragging my tennis racket around, so that's a good little pup.